Alright, welcome back to another review. It's Samuel. We're back at it again with another Action Movie Month reviews. And this time people request me to do a review on Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior. Alright, so a long time ago, let's start off with this. So I did a review on the first Mad Max movie, the first one. Not a fan of it, I thought it sucked. Now I watched the second one, which we're going to get to that results of my opinion on that soon. But right now I'm going to say this. So a long time ago, back in 1981, it was called The Road Warrior instead of just calling it Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior. I don't know what it was, why they changed the title to just the Road Warrior instead of Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior. I don't get that whole idea of the movie title. Just like with Evil Dead. Remember Evil Dead? There was like Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and all of a sudden it just called Army of Darkness. The third one's just called Army of Darkness. It's not Evil Dead 3 Army of Darkness, it's just called Army of Darkness. I didn't get that. I didn't get these titles, but they don't have Evil Dead 3 or something like that. But it makes no sense to me. Well, anyways, yeah, it should be called Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior, not just The Road Warrior. It makes no sense. So this is Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior. So this movie came out in 1981, starring Mel Gibson once again, and the rest of people I don't know because they're Australian actors. I don't know all Australian actors. I don't think I know any Australian actors except for like 2 or 3 of them or something like that, like famous ones, or maybe I don't know if I should call them famous, but I actually know a couple of Australian actors, but not too many because they're not really well known, to be honest. So this movie, is it better than the first movie? Yeah, but the thing is, it has like the same action like the first movie, to be fair. It's the same shit. Once again, people getting run over by a car. I mean, Mad Max actually does more in this movie. He actually shoots people with a shotgun more often. He runs people over in this movie more. But still, the action wasn't really there to me. Still, yeah, this movie is a little bit more of an upgrade than the first movie. It's just that I'm still not really crazy about this movie because, once again, with the main villain, we're gonna get to that soon. It's just like the fucking first movie. This is Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior. It all starts off where they're telling a story of what happened to the world, why it turned into a post-apocalyptic time, this and that, talk about what happened to Mad Max and this, and he's searching for gasoline, and the world got even more fucked up than the first movie. It's got even more crazier and shit, more crazy ass characters and shit, more fucking goofy ass motherfuckers, and fucking, like I said, Mad Max looking for gasoline and shit for his car and this and that. And the thing is, they never actually told what happened to his police boys. Like, what happened to those guys? What happened to the big bald guy with a mustache? Like, what the hell happened to all those guys? They never really explained what happened to his cop friends at all. They never explained what happened to them. They just disappear. Like, what the fuck? So you're telling me they just disappeared? They're just dead? That makes literally no sense whatsoever. But whatever. Let's just have just Mad Max. His buddies are just dead, I guess. Let's completely forget all about them. Just like what happened in the first movie, they just completely forget all about them in like the second half of the film. They just disappear. It's like, it makes no sense whatsoever. They're supposed to have his back and shit. For some reason, they weren't even there. It's like this fucking director was like on fucking drugs or something like that when he made these fucking movies. He wrote these fucking characters and shit. He's like, let's just get rid of these fucking characters. That's it. That's all happened. It makes no sense. But anyways, so later on, like I said, he's looking for gasoline and he ends up out of nowhere fighting this guy who came out of the fucking sand like a crazy motherfucker. He gets in a fight with him, and fucking Mad Max got a fucking arrow pointing to his head, and he tried to get the knife, but the guy is smart. What he has under that fucking truck, under his car and shit. So he decides to like unleash his dog to attack the guy, and now he got the guy under control now. Mad Max does. And now he got the guy cuffed, this and that, and he asks him where he can find the gasoline, so he shows him where he's at, or this big ass place is, with all these crazy lunatic people talking to the people inside that building and shit. Especially the big motherfucker named Humongous, which I like that character, to be fair, but of course they'll also end up fucking that character up too because they did it the wrong way with him also. But anyways, yeah, he actually is a pretty cool character. So later on, you know, Mad Max and the cuff guy and the dog wait all day, all night for a while till they actually have a plan and look through the binoculars and shit, see what happens. And I think George Miller did take a lot of ideas from Star Wars, to be fair. With this, all this, you know, all this sand land, the desert and shit. It has that fucking Tusken Raider vibe to it, to be fair, you know. But anyways, yeah, so they wait all day and night, and then later on in the daytime, the next day, this chick is getting raped by this fucking crazy guy, and she ends getting killed, and Mad Max goes down there and hits the guy with a fucking, I forgot, the pliers or some shit like that, him with pliers, and knocks him out, and it unhooks the guy who, his girl was getting fucked and raped and shit, and killed. So he unhooks that guy, tell him where he can get the gasoline. So he uses him to get him inside and shit. And he goes to the door. He's like, all right, drop your weapon on the ground, get on the ground, this and that. And so they took him inside with all these other people wearing like white fucking outfits and shit. And they had like all this gasoline and shit. And that's what these crazy lunatic people want and shit. As they show up there with their leader, Humongous, talking to the microphone and shit. All right, so here's the deal. You give us that gasoline and shit. You got hours to think about it. And that fucking this little munchkin kid throws like a fucking boomerang at the one that guy's fucking boyfriend and shit, and he kills him and shit with it. And the guy with the red mohawk was pissed off, like, you killed my dick lover, you motherfucker, you stupid fucking kid. Try to throw that back at him, and he failed and shit. Well, let's say one thing. That's one strong ass fucking boomerang. You fucking cut that guy's fingers off and shit too. Kill that gay guy and cut that guy's fingers off and shit. Like, what the fuck? So that's a strong ass fucking boomerang. That shit is like a knife boomerang or some shit like that. Sharp ass fucking thing. I'll tell you. God damn. That's such a pretty cool weapon. Fucking sharp knife boomerang. No, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, this little munchkin kid. He looks like fucking wait, what's his name? Anakin Skywalker, young Anakin Skywalker. But this movie's like way before fucking the Phantom Menace, so. And the guy with the fucking red mohawk was getting pissed off. He wanted to kill them, and then Humongous had to calm his ass down, tell him about he's gonna fuck up the whole plan and shit, this and that. And then they just leave. And then Mad Max has a plan how to get back at these guys, and he decided to like go to their camp with this gas or some shit like that with the kid, help him out and shit, because he gave the kid this toy to play with, so that now the kid likes him and shit. And yeah, he breaks the gas there, and he fucking like he fucks with these lunatic guys. He like lures them to the place, back to the hideout and shit, and they get in a fight with these guys and shit. These guys get torched with a flamethrower from top of the building and shit. I still don't really like the action that much, though. It's just not really there for me. I don't know, maybe because there's barely any guns in this movie or something? I don't know what it is. I just like movies with a lot of gun shooting, and the only gun shooting you have in this movie is with Mad Max and his sawn-off shotgun. That's the only gun is in this movie. I mean, I think there's other people that have a gun in this movie, but not that many people have a gun in this movie because it's a post-apocalyptic time, so I can understand it. But I don't know. There's other movies with post-apocalyptic time, and they actually have fucking guns in there and shit. But this movie is just like, there's barely any guns in here. I mean, that's why it's not really interesting to me, this films. I mean, that's what it is, I guess? I don't know what it is. I'm not really crazy about these films. Alright, so, yeah, they capture, like, more people and shit. Humongous got these fucking people burned on fucking sticks and shit, you know. This and that happened. And now they come up with this plan to escape these motherfuckers and this and that with the oil and shit, and find a new home and stuff like that. Well, before that, fucking Mel Gibson's character gets like attacked by these fucking goons and shit. He gets pretty fucked up, and he gets his oil stolen out of his car, and they blow up his fucking car and shit like that. These bad guys, which they thought they'd kill him, but they didn't. He's all fucked up. His eyes like all fucked up and shit. You know, he's fucking damaged. So now he's still gonna do it. He's still gonna drive that fucking 18-wheeler truck with the oil, which he thought was oil in there, but it wasn't. It's just to lure the bad guys away from the real oil and shit. So, which that plan actually worked, and he was like driving away and shit. You know, with the other people were like protecting him and shit. This and that. I mean, this is not a bad scene. This is a pretty decent scene where the final part where he escapes with the oil and stuff like that. Well, the so-called quote-unquote oil, which actually is fake oil. There's actually sand in there and shit. So he was driving away from these motherfuckers, you know, fucking Humongous, his boys chasing after him and shit like that. And they're like attacking him and shit, you know, killed that one bitch with 4 arrows shot in her. He killed that other goofball. He gets run over also. Yeah. She actually was pretty cute though, that chick. So yeah, that happened, and he actually kills people with a fucking shot-off shotgun. It's about fucking time he actually kills people with a fucking sawed-off shotgun, because, like I said, the first movie, he barely uses it in the fucking first movie. That's when he actually uses it more often, while he's driving a truck. I feel like he should use it more when he's not driving a fucking vehicle, though. I mean, he does, but not too much, though. When he's driving vehicles, he actually uses his gun. Yeah, he kills a couple of them and this and that, and he runs over the guy with the mohawk, which he still lives. We'll get to that soon. He's still driving and shit, you know, take these guys out and shit. The little kid helps him out, you know, attacks the other guy for him, this and that, you know. And fuck it, this guy pops out of nowhere while, you know, the little kid try to get the shotgun shell for Max. This dude with a mohawk pops out of nowhere like, "Rah!" Scared the shit out of the kid. And fucking they keep screaming at each other, and all of a sudden, once again, the main villain, Humongous, gets hit by an 18-wheeler truck. Just like the fucking first movie with Toe Cutter, he gets hit by an 18-wheeler truck. What the fuck's with this movie? What these fucking bad guys get hit by 18-wheeler trucks? Like, what kind of action is that? Why do all these villains get hit by a fucking 18-wheeler truck? I'm tired of seeing that shit. Like, that's the best idea this guy could come up with for a fucking movie? A bad guy get hit by an 18-wheeler truck? Well, I'll say this. They did it better with this movie than they did with the fucking first movie. I'll say that, okay? They did it better. But why the fuck would it make the main villain drive into an 18-wheeler truck again? Why do the same shit again for? I don't get that. Why do you make these characters so retarded? Like, he just drives right into the 18-wheeler truck? Like, what the fuck? Why did he just jump on top of the fucking 18-wheeler truck instead of just driving into it like a fucking dumbass? Like, what's with that shit? I don't get it. Like, when this fucking guy writes a movie, I keep thinking to myself, I keep scratching my head, like, what the fuck kind of idea is that, George Miller? Like, does your brain get stuck or something when we come up how to kill off a villain or something like that? That's the best idea to come up with? Oh, I got an idea. He drives into an 18-wheeler truck. That's how you kill a villain off. Genius idea right there. Fucking dumbass. Like, I just... There's other ways to kill off a fucking villain instead of driving into a fucking truck. Well, like I said, they did it better here than they did in the other fucking movie. The other one is really just scratches my head. Like, it really pulls my dick, the fucking first movie. It really does. It makes literally no sense. This made no sense either, but they did it better. But still didn't make no fucking sense. He just drives right into an 18-wheeler truck. Like he's like immortal or something like that. Like he could just drive into something. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Well, anyways, yeah, that happens. Fucking Humongous gets killed by a fucking 18-wheeler truck, just like a Toe Cutter. And everything was over, and fucking Mad Max crashes the fucking so-called oil truck. It turns out sand coming out of it, and the other fucking goons drive off, and it turns out that's not the fucking oil, it's actually sand. And their main leader was dead, so they have no leader now, so they just fuck off. They fart the fuck off. And Mad Max is alright, you know, his eye's still fucked up, but he's an eye patch now or something like that. Ladies. And now he had this little kid that helped out. He's still fine. I would have been sad if they killed the little kid off. I would have been pretty sad. I don't like seeing children get killed off in a fucking movie. Just like with fucking, what's it called? It's like I don't like seeing rape scenes, but there's rape scenes in this too, and I hated that also. But it all turns out the oil's actually in this van, truck, car, whatever the hell you call it. And they all escape. The little kid and the other people. And now they have a new leader. And Mad Max That was the last time they ever see him, which that's what they say in the narration. That's the last time they ever see him, because he's the road warrior, this and that. Yeah, the ending wasn't that bad. Like I said, this movie's all right at best. You know, it's just the whole beginning it's like it dragged. It was kind of boring, you know, but somehow I stick through it and kept watching it and it got a little bit better. You know, I didn't really like the action that much in this film, anyways. So yeah, this movie's all right. Way better than that fucking piece of shit first one. I'll tell you that. I hate the first one. I hate it. It's just it made no sense. This movie makes more sense, but I still don't like how they kill the villain again, like they did the fucking first movie, hit by a goddamn truck. And then there was a third movie called Thunderdome, and that stars Tina Turner. You remember that chick used to get beat up by her fucking husband, Ike Turner? Yeah, that's that chick. And this movie's PG-13, which I don't understand why. Why is it PG-13? Do you need for little kiddies or something like that? Well, why make PG-13? Just like with fucking RoboCop 3, they made PG-13. I don't get that. Then they made Fury Road. That's with fucking Tom Hardy. He plays Max. And I have no interest in watching Beyond Thunderdome or fucking Fury Road. I'm not. No more Mad Max. I'm not into these fucking movies, man. I don't care if Fury Road has 8.1. I'm not watching it. I'm not gonna like it. It's like a Road Warrior. That's 7.6. I don't really like that movie that much. It's alright. Yeah, I don't know why they made Thunderdome PG-13. I don't get that shit. Same with fucking RoboCop 3, they made PG-13. Oh, they sell toys for little kiddies or something? It's so stupid. Like, they gotta stop doing that bullshit. Same with Expendables 3, they made it like PG-13. So reason with third movies, they're gonna make it PG-13 for some weird fucking reason. I never understand that logic. Another reason why I won't watch Fury Road, because I'm not a fan of Charlize Theron, because she's like a real bitch in real life. I'm not a fan of her. And yeah, there's that. In Thunderdome, I heard a lot of things bad about Thunderdome. I heard it was not really a good movie. I heard it sucked. You know, I'm not really crazy about the fucking first Mad Max movie, so why do I watch the fucking third one?